Now on Coast TV News.
Showers and storms are back across Delmarva. Some of those could be strong to possibly severe later today into Saturday, drying out on Sunday. I'll track the storm threat on Futurecast coming up next.
Hotel review returns. Two planes getting another look by officials today in Rehoboth Beach.
Substation standoff.
He sets a dangerous precedent.
The reaction to a Delaware bill that could clear the way for wind farm projects.
Democratic lawsuit over dollars, the latest legal action by Delaware and Maryland against the Trump administration.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And it is Friday, May 30th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, we've hit the weekend. I know we always like...
After work.
I always say when you hit Friday, you're hitting the weekend.
You're very close to the weekend.
But it's also the final Friday of May.
That is true. I don't know. I'm always like, I got to get through work. Got to get through the next 8 hours.
So you don't have like...
I'm happy when I wake up
You don't have
on
the
a
equivalent of
Friday.
senioritis on a Friday is what you're saying.
No, I mean, I'm happy.
Unlike
when I
some
wake up.
people I know.
Yes,
no
I
names,
know.
please.
I know. For Matt, Friday, when it hits midnight Friday, it's the weekend for you. But
All right.
Bob, do you say Friday starts or the weekend starts after you're done with work on Friday?
Yeah, after I'm done. When I walk out the door, it's the weekend. But I tell you what, Elisa and Matt, it is a wet Friday, the last Friday of May. Look at this, and a stormy one too. Look at Sussex County, yellow, red colors indicating moderate to heavy rain, even lightning around Gumboro now, and that heavy rain extends to Georgetown, through Selbyville as well, through Bridgeville. So make sure you have your rain gear and pack your patience this morning. Once again, some of this rain is coming down really heavy, so you can see flooding in a short period of time. Greenwood and Bridgeville seeing the showers. The heavy rain extends down into Berlin. This is all moving to the north and east. And Salisbury, you're in just some run-of-the-mill showers right now, while the eastern shore, you're in the showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. But clearly the heaviest rain is now moving into Sussex County and then eventually into the coastal areas, as we have just plain rain from there all the way back into Virginia. So we'll be in this rain, I think, for a few hours as we're watching the system moving through along a warm front, and then you can see that rain kind of ending across areas of western Virginia. Temperatures out the door, they're in the low to mid 60s, but it definitely has that muggy feel as the winds are turning to the south around that warm front. So still, showers and storms this morning will start to taper off between about 6 and 7 a.m. Then I think we could see some breaks of sun as we go into the afternoon hours, with temperatures into the mid to upper 70s, maybe close to 80 in Salisbury later on, 76 in Millsboro, 60s at the beaches. Then another round of showers and storms this evening. Those could be possibly severe. I'll have much more on that coming up, but a little rainy for a few hours this morning and then muggy the rest of today with temperatures into the mid 70s. That storm threat continues into Saturday. Then we dry it out Sunday. Much more on this active forecast coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Let's get a look at road conditions. Here's a look at Ocean City. This was just moments ago, and you can see some of that rain on the lens of this camera there, and that's Coastal Highway. Not many cars on Coastal Highway at this point, but it is something drivers will have to factor in during their morning commute. Our top story this half hour in Rehoboth Beach today, the Belhaven Hotel is getting a preliminary site plan review. The project calls for a 3-story building. It's where the current Candy Kitchen is on the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk. In March, the city's Planning and Zoning Commission withdrew opposition to an appeal by Belhaven over loading berths, railings, and an antenna. Today's Planning Commission review is requested by the law firm representing Alex Papajohn, who is part of the family that is leading the hotel project.
An existing hotel in Rehoboth Beach is having expansions reviewed at the same Planning Commission meeting. The Coast Hotel would like to add 10 more rooms. That is on top of the 60 already at the Rehoboth Avenue site. The hotel is also seeking approval for a bar area on the 3rd floor.
We have new details on a story that we've been covering. In Delaware, lawmakers are debating a controversial bill that could limit the authority of local governments, specifically U.S. Wind's plans for an electric substation in Sussex County. The bill changes Delaware state code to prohibit counties from denying conditional use permits for electrical substations that meet certain conditions. And that's exactly what Sussex County Council did in December. If this passes, the bill would reverse that vote.
Some people claim that this bill overrides local control, but it doesn't do that, because the county councils they decide zoning, they've already decided on the zoning. They just need to abide by it.
It really sets a dangerous precedent to say, hey, if the state doesn't like how your local representatives make a decision, then we now have a precedent to show where we can overrule that one decision that we don't like.
The bill has been assigned to Senate Environment, Energy, and Transportation Committee. There's a public comment period ahead of their meeting on Monday in Dover.
Happening today in Ocean View, a ribbon-cutting ceremony will mark the opening of a brand new education campus at the James Farm Ecological Preserve. According to the Delaware Center for the Inland Bays, the new campus will feature upgraded outreach and education facilities designed to serve as a hub for environmental learning, research, and community programs. That event will take place this morning at 10 a.m.
Delaware State Police are reminding people of safety practices. They say spoofed phone scams are continuing. State police say scammers are manipulating caller ID to make it look like calls are coming from official state or government agencies. If you do get one of these calls from someone claiming to be law enforcement, ask for proper ID and then call your local troop directly to verify. State police will never ask for payments, bail, or court fines over the phone, especially not through electronic transfers.
Happening now, Delaware and Maryland attorney generals are joining a multi-state legal challenge against funding cuts that could impact the future of science and diversity in STEM education. A total of 17 attorneys generals are suing the Trump administration over recent National Science Foundation policy changes. The lawsuit argues the foundation unlawfully ended programs supporting women, minorities, and people with disabilities in science and engineering, and imposed cost caps that could hurt university research. The officials are asking a federal court to block those changes. And for more on this story, you can head to our website, CoastTV.com.
Getting a live look now at Washington, D.C. on this Friday morning. It is a Friday that sees President Trump heading to Pennsylvania for a rally at U.S. Steel in Pittsburgh. And it comes after a wild 24-hour period for his tariff policy.
As NBC's Alice Barr shows us, from the time being, the president has a win in the on and off again court decisions.
President Trump heading to Pennsylvania today for a rally at U.S. Steel on the heels of a new reversal, allowing his sweeping tariffs to remain in effect for now after a federal appeals court temporarily paused a ruling by the Court of International Trade that blocked most of the president's tariffs because they said he'd exceeded his authority and using an emergency powers law and sidestepping input from Congress. President Trump slammed the ruling overnight, saying if it stands, it would completely destroy presidential power, and arguing that getting congressional approval for tariffs would dramatically slow the process as his administration negotiates trade deals with world leaders.
Very adamant that this is the right approach, and so, while we're ready for a backup plan that's never going to happen because this is going to work.
The White House does have other means of enacting tariffs without emergency powers, leaving business owners like Victor Schwartz, lead plaintiff in the trade case and founder of a small New York-based wine company, guessing what's coming next.
The tariffs are a cash flow killer, particularly impactful for a small business. This kind of uncertainty is terrible for business.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent weighing in overnight on the state of trade negotiations, saying some deals are close, while on the closely watched talks with China.
I would say that they are a bit stalled.
The White House promised to reach 90 deals in 90 days, leaving them until July 9th, with few announcements so far. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today.
Coming up, Mind on Mental Health, how Milford police are informing locals on what to do in a scary situation.
Also, severe weather sweeps the country. We'll show you what parts of the U.S. are set to face today and this weekend.
And First Friday's return, what to expect at an event in Milford that's set to start next month. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
5:11 on this wet and stormy Friday morning. Bay Health Cam in Milford showing the rain coming down. We've got lightning too now around Millsboro, back through Long Neck, and some heavy rain too right along the 113 corridor from Millsboro up to Georgetown now, and that extends down into Ocean Pines. Watch for quick flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. Also seeing the rain farther to the north, and you can see the heaviest weather is across Sussex County and back towards the coast, while to the west and southwest it's just general showers. So we're seeing this all because a warm front is lifting through the area right now. And we'll be in this rain for a couple of more hours as that warm front moves through. So really take care of this morning. Leave extra time to get to your destination. I did give you the red light for the showers and storms with vivid lightning and heavy rain and maybe some quick flooding. We got to break much of the day, and then storms develop again this evening. Some maybe a little bit strong to severe. Much more on that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Bob. New in Milford, the city's first Fridays are back this year starting June 6th. According to the Downtown Milford Incorporation, on the first Friday of every month, Walnut Street will be closed. This is to allow for people to walk freely and explore downtown businesses. The organization says there will be 5 events from June until October, and they run from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. in each month.
A longtime employee at a Milton restaurant is facing a tough diagnosis, and the community is stepping up to help. You're looking at Mr. Lee, who's worked at Po' Boy's Creole restaurant for years. He was recently diagnosed with lung cancer. His coworkers say he's known for his positive energy, and to help with medical bills, the restaurant says it will donate 10% of sales from June 4th through the 7th.
Walmart is rolling out a new artificial intelligence-powered digital platform aimed at making it easier for customers to eat healthier. Customers can opt into the platform named Everyday Health Signals on their Walmart.com account. It will then analyze their retail history to deliver practical tips, nutrition analysis, and shopping lists. The free platform will be available to Medicare Advantage members with Nation's benefits.
Tariffs are hitting clothing company Gap. Officials there say tariffs tied to President Trump's trade policies could cost it between $100 and $150 million this year. Thursday, a federal appeals court, as we saw earlier, put a pause on a ruling from Wednesday night that would have blocked many of those tariffs. Despite the uncertainty, Gap CEO says shoppers shouldn't expect big price hikes, at least for now.
We're seeing heavy showers and thunderstorms overspreading Delmarva, and it's raining right now in Lewis, and you could be seeing some lightning here in the next half hour as the storms have returned. They'll continue on and off into Saturday. Some of those could be possibly strong to severe. Then we do dry it out on Sunday. I'll track the storms coming up next and take a look at future casts as well after the break. Stay tuned.
Time is 5:17, and you're looking live at a rainy canal in Lewis. And Bob, my sources are telling me, get this, that it is raining very hard in Milton.
Your sources? Is that the roof of the
studio?
It's the roof
over my head here at our studio.
Right. Yeah, no, we can hear that rain coming down, Matt, and we are seeing downpours out there. And we are looking at stormy weather today and tomorrow, possibly some severe weather. Could see some damaging winds, hail, and downpours like we're seeing right now. Then a cold front pushes through on Saturday. But right now it's a warm front moving through, triggering the rain and storms. And then we'll see the cold front, kind of a 1-2 punch. The cold front moves through tomorrow evening with another round of showers and storms. And we're seeing it now. Millsboro, it's raining really hard. We're hearing it here in Milton as well. And anywhere in these orange areas from Highway 9 to 113 down to Ocean Pines, definitely watch out. We could be looking at some quick flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. We also have the lightning from Millsboro to Long Neck now as this system is moving off to the east-northeast. Ocean Pines, you're in the heavy rain as well. Harrington through Milford, northern Sussex County, also into the moderate rain. And you can see the bulk of the real heavy rain now is moving through Sussex County, through Ocean Pines, while the rest of us are seeing some steady rain. So this is the heaviest of it appears as we go through the next hour or so, as it's moving from southwest to northeast. And once again, on the front edge of this, that's where we're seeing the lightning right now. Not expecting severe weather. Here's the back edge through parts of Virginia right now. So it's a soaker here for the next few hours. As we're watching this warm front lifting through, we have more more energy back to the west across the Ohio Valley. So we're going to be seeing a front draped across the region and more showers and storms as we go through time. It is muggy and wet out the door with temperatures right now in the low to mid 60s as the winds are turning around to the south. So Futurecast has the heaviest of the rain, I think, offshore by 6 a.m. with more showers continuing through about 8 a.m. Then we get a break and then it's muggy as we go through the day. Some sunshine, I think, as we go into the afternoon, mid to upper 70s, even 80 well inland. Then this evening we could see another round of heavier showers and storms. These could contain some damaging winds as we go through the evening hours, so watch out for that. And then as we head into your Saturday, it gets breezy out of the west and we're looking at temperatures into the 60s and 70s. And then here comes another round of showers and storms into the afternoon hours. Those could pack a punch with torrential rain and maybe damaging winds as we go into the evening hours. So if you have plans, make sure you have the Coast TV weather app to keep you apprised of the weather. Then that system finally moves out as we go into Saturday evening. By Sunday morning, it's chilly, 40s and 50s, and then a much drier day on Sunday with 60s and 70s. Here is the threat for severe weather today. These slight risk through Chincoteague, Salisbury, and Easton, while farther to the north, we're in the low risk, but the threat is for damaging winds and hail. And then that's also the case as we go into latter parts of Saturday. And it looks like a soaker, obviously, as we could pick up a ½ inch to maybe in excess of an inch of rain. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, 77 with the storms today. Saturday, 73, more storms, especially in the evening hours. Then it dries out Sunday into next weekend. We finally get summer-like temperatures. Tuesday, 82, and then by Thursday, all the way up to 87 degrees. Congratulations to Joan Ciolco from Lewis. Good timing, Joan, on winning an umbrella today with all the rain. And that is courtesy of Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you, Bob. Stormy weather is expected today in the Atlanta area, and some people are already seeing tornadoes that were caught on camera. You can see that right here on your screen. There are thunderstorms expected in North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Damaging winds will be the primary severe weather threat, and there could be also hail and possible flooding.
Happening today, Milford will conclude its hydrant flushing project. The city's been flushing hydrants in Ward 4 since May 26. Work is expected to take place between 7:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. And you may notice discolored water there during this time, and the city's advising to run cold water until it runs clear and avoid using hot water. Hold off on doing laundry until the water clears up.
Also happening today in Salisbury, road work is scheduled to begin this morning in the Sassafras Meadows community. Officials say a private contractor will make improvements at the intersection of Severn Avenue and Victoria Park Drive. That work will take place from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Up next on Coast TV News today, Mind on Mental Health. We'll tell you how you can learn best safety practices from Milford Police. Don't go anywhere.
Milford Police are helping the community understand what to expect when they call for help. The agency is hosting an event centered around mental health crisis and response. The department says it will discuss the difference between calling 911 and 988, who to ask for depending on the situation, and the department's co-responder unit. That event will take place at the police department on Monday, June 2nd at 4 p.m.
Opportunities for car seat checks along the eastern shore. Several agencies will hold events in the coming months. Agency experts say they will help make sure the seats are installed correctly. One of those events is June 18th at the Salisbury Fire Station from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Happening now, you may be seeing more Jeeps than usual around the Ocean City area this week. That's because it's OC Jeep Week. Officials expect around 300 Jeeps every day to be driving around, and you can also see Jeeps driving along the Ocean City beach. That event will end on Sunday, June 1st. Matt, we can hear the rain right now on the roof of our station, but you have grilling later. And Bob said that it is supposed to stop in the afternoon for a little bit. So.
I heard him say there's a window, which was good news. But even with that window, Bob, I don't think this is going to be a nice day in that window to take that walk or jog along the beach.
Well, I think we will have that window where we can do that, I believe. Yeah, but it's going to be mild. Well, no, well. Kind of, but But we have the storms this morning. We'll see them again this evening. Now, Fenwick Island and Ocean City, it's wet and stormy early on, and then improving conditions throughout the day with 60s and low 70s for you. Rip current threat is low. The UV index is high. And Lewis, it's stormy now. I think we do have that window of time during the day, both there and Rehoboth, where we're in good shape. But then this evening, heads up for showers and storms, especially if you're taking the ferry up to Cape May. Cambridge, it's going to be rainy today and then again this evening. And I think that's the same for Crisfield. Rain this morning, and then we're looking at more storms this evening. Another round of storms as we go into your Saturday. Looking better for Sunday. More in your forecast coming up in the next half hour.
Bob, and the calendar flips from May to June this weekend, and we're about to flip your weekend plans from boring to brilliant.
I like that.
Yeah.
Here's Christina DiRobertis with your cool things to do.
If you're thirsty for fun this weekend, get ready for the Rehoboth Beach Margarita Crawl. It's happening Saturday from noon to 4. For $25, you can sip and stroll your way through downtown, responsibly, of course. Next up, for some fresh sounds, you can check out Milton's new music and Windfest on Saturday. It's free, it's family-friendly, and the finale features a 50-minute walk and listen piece by composer Terry Riley, who's turning 90 next month. Then it's off to Slaughter Beach, where the Red Knot Fest celebrates birds, crabs, and all things coastal. Finally, get your purple gear ready because Ravens Roost Weekend takes over Ocean City with beach vibes, fan fun, and a big parade down Baltimore Avenue. You can find all the details on CoastTV.com under Cool Things to Do.
Now on Coast TV News.
Showers and storms are back across Delmarva. Some of those could be strong to possibly severe later today into Saturday, drying out on Sunday. I'll track the storm threat on Futurecast coming up next.
Same strategy for new issue. The reasons Maryland and Delaware are giving for their latest lawsuit against the Trump administration.
Advancing affordable housing, Delaware's junior senator gets a progress update at Chapel Branch outside of Lewis.
Winds of politics. Delaware lawmakers debate a controversial bill that could impact local government's authority in alternative energy projects.
This is Coast TV News Today.
May 30th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Time is 5:30. We have another Friday. We have another rainy Friday.
But it's rainy for right now. Then Bob said we're going to get a little bit of a break.
You know, that's why I like her. She is glass half full person.
Well, it's nice you don't have to be cooped up inside all day.
That's true.
You're making ribs this afternoon, this evening.
Yes.
So, I mean, we know Matt does not want it to rain for a little bit for that, Bob. So we need to make sure we hold out for that.
No, but as you mentioned, Elisa, we will have that window later on where it's dry, but it will be muggy. But we're seeing rain all across Delmarva right now. I want to focus on where the rain is the heaviest from Milton, Prime Hook Beach, Lewis, Long Neck. You're in the middle of a deluge there. So if you're out and about, watch for quick flooding, especially in poor drainage areas, maybe a rumble of thunder too. So a lot of this heavy activity is now east of 113 back through Fenwick Island, Ocean City. You're seeing very heavy rain and also pockets of heavy rain through Gumboro and Delmar. Elsewhere, we're just seeing showers across the area. So it's a leading edge of this that we're seeing the heaviest rain and some of that lightning right now. And then for the eastern shore, Cambridge to Bucktown, Andrews, you're seeing the heavier showers too. All this activity is moving off to the northeast. Not expecting anything severe, but definitely some heavier rain in this batch of rain that's moving through Sussex County right now. The back edge of this rain is back through Richmond and Norfolk. So I think we'll be in this for another couple of hours. Then we will get that gap in activity as a warm front is lifting through. It's mild and muggy with the rain. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s as the winds are swinging around to the south. So the heaviest of the rain moving through now. And then I think it ends around 7 to 8 o'clock. Then it's mild and muggy as the sun comes out later on, and temperatures into the 70s, close to 80 degrees inland and 60s at the coast. And not the best of beach days. And then this evening, we're gearing up perhaps for another round of severe weather. Bus stop forecast, we're looking at showers and storms for the kids. They should be winding down at that time off to school, 63. Then much of the day is dry, then mild and muggy heading home, 75. And then another round of storms this evening. Much more on that in your weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Bob. And we're now going to check those road conditions this half hour. We are looking at Rehoboth Beach, just east of that split heading into the city. As you are seeing, we see some cars outside. Visibility not the greatest on our camera from that rain, so just be careful as you are driving this morning. In Rehoboth Beach today, the Belhaven Hotel is getting a preliminary site plan review. That project calls for a 3-story building. It's where Candy Kitchen currently sits on the Rehoboth Beach boardwalk. In March, the city's Planning and Zoning Commission withdrew opposition to an appeal by Belhaven over loading berths, railings, and an antenna. Today's Planning Commission review is requested by the law firm representing Alex Papajohn, who is part of the family that is leading the hotel project.
An existing hotel in Rehoboth Beach is having expansions reviewed at that same Planning Commission meeting. The Coast Hotel would like to add 10 more rooms. That's on top of the 60 already at the Rehoboth Avenue site. The hotel is also seeking approval for a bar area on the 3rd floor.
In Lewis, an affordable housing complex is moving closer to completion. On Thursday, Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester visited that site to check out the progress at Chapel Branch. Groundbreaking on the 7-acre parcel off of Route 24 occurred 6 months ago. This is for 42 affordable housing units with an expected range in rent from $458 to over $1,800 a month. Developers say construction is expected to be done next December.
Delaware and Maryland are part of a multi-state legal challenge against funding cuts that could impact the future of science and diversity in STEM education. A total of 17 Democratic attorney generals are suing the Trump administration over recent National Science Foundation policy changes. The lawsuit argues the foundation unlawfully ended programs supporting women, minorities, and people with disabilities in science and engineering and imposed cost caps that could hurt university research. The officials are asking a federal court to block the changes.
We have new details on a story we have been covering in Delaware. Lawmakers are debating a controversial bill that could limit the authority of local governments, specifically U.S. Wind's plan for an electric substation in Sussex County. The bill changes Delaware's state code to prohibit counties from denying conditional use permits for electrical substations that meet certain conditions. That's exactly what the Sussex County Council did back in December. If passed, that bill would reverse that vote.
And in a related story, Maryland Governor Wes Moore recently signed a bill giving his state the right to take over farmland for solar projects. The bill strips counties of their approval authority. It's drawing opposition from lawmakers representing the Eastern Shore. And in a statement, Republican State Senator Mary Beth Carrozza said it's bad for farmlands and, quote, it overrides protections for priority preservation areas and imposes a top-down, one-size-fits-all approach to land use that disregards local needs and decision-making, end quote.
Delaware State Police are reminding people of safety practices as they say spoof phone scams continue. State Police say scammers are manipulating caller ID to make it look like calls are coming from the official state government agency. If you get a call from someone claiming to be law enforcement, ask for proper ID, then call your local troop directly to verify. Police will never ask for payments, bail, or court fines over the phone, especially not through electric transfers.
Now taking a live look at Washington, D.C., it's been a whirling couple of days for President Trump's global trade agenda. In back-to-back rulings, the federal court blocked most of Trump's sweeping tariffs, and then an appeals court stayed the lower court's ruling, temporarily restoring the president's ability to levy the tariffs.
CNN's Reed Binion shows us what this means for consumers and the economy.
Just heard the news, they've stayed the order of the court.
Peter Navarro, President Donald Trump's top trade advisor, reacting to a federal appeals court decision to pause an earlier ruling that blocked the bulk of Trump's tariffs.
We will go, obviously, to the appeals court and, if necessary, up the chain from there.
On Wednesday, the U.S. Court of International Trade ruled Trump didn't have the authority to impose many of the sweeping tariffs in the manner that he did. The Trump administration immediately appealed. The appeals court stayed the ruling, temporarily restoring Trump's ability to impose tariffs using the emergency powers he declared earlier this year. Both sides must now give the appeals court written arguments on the question of the blocking of the tariffs. In a lengthy social media post, Trump slammed the lower court ruling. The White House taking aim at the earlier decision.
There is an effort by this administration to tackle these rogue judges.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt calling the ruling judicial overreach.
The courts should have no role here. There is a troubling and dangerous trend of unelected judges inserting themselves into the presidential decision-making process. But ultimately, the Supreme Court must put an end to this.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
New this morning, a swimmer is sharing his story after allegedly being bitten by a shark in Sunset Beach on Wednesday. Sean Barton says he was visiting from New Mexico when he was bitten by something in the surf. He ended up needing 11 stitches in his leg. Barton says he knew something was not right when he felt an intense pain.
Just got done riding an epic wave and then felt a shark or something bite my leg. And at that moment I was like, I think I just got bit by a shark. And I didn't see anything, but I just kind of turned and immediately started running. Tried to get into shore as quickly as I could.
The doctor who treated him at the hospital said the wound looked like a shark bite. Family members say they saw a shark swimming close by after that bite happened.
Got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, stunting sun show in New York. We'll tell you what creates the spectacular view and when it will return for another event.
Also, ticket to title game. 2 Delaware high school girls lacrosse teams are heading to Saturday's state championship after semifinal wins. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
5:41 on this rainy Friday morning. Spicer Brothers Cam to Salisbury 64. The heaviest rain has moved to your northeast, and now we're seeing that along the coast from Lewis down to Dewey Beach, Ocean View, Fenwick Island, and Millsboro seeing the heavy rain. Not seeing any more lightning now. It looks like the heaviest rain offshore from Ocean City, and more of that heavier rain through southwest Sussex back into Wycomico County to the north and west of Salisbury. The rest of us seeing showers, even some of that rain ending on parts of the eastern shore right now as we're seeing it moving from southwest to northeast and already starting to see some breaks to the west. So I think this is around for a couple of hours with that warm front. Here's your checklist today. Raincoat, umbrella necessary. Drive with caution, ponding big puddles out there. Have a warm beverage, your sunscreen for later because we'll see some breaks in the clouds and sunglasses as well. Make sure you call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. It's sponsored by Brockstead Mandalis Federico.
People in New York City were treated to a rare solar phenomenon Thursday night. It's called Manhattan Henge, and it only happens twice a year. It's when the setting sun aligns with the Manhattan Street grid, dazzling onlookers as it sinks below the horizon, framed in a canyon of skyscrapers. The stunning sight happens about 3 weeks before the summer solstice and again about 3 weeks after.
The 4th annual rally for our first responders is back this year. However, organizers say due to weather concerns, the new date is now Sunday, June 1st. The event will take place in Milton, featuring 31 vendors, live music, food and drinks, family fun, and first responder demos, all to honor local heroes. Tickets will be $10 and children 12 and under will get in for free. This will be from noon to 5 p.m. at Hudson Fields.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, sports fans. The DIAA State Finals matchup in girls lacrosse is set. It is time to see who will be playing at the biggest stage. We head to Cape Henlopen High School as the Vikings get ready to take on the Sussex Academy Seahawks. 9:28 to go in the first quarter of action. We'll start things off. Allie Deal finds Twine on the free position shot. Gives the defending state champs a 1-0 lead. 9:09 to go. Dynamic duo is here. Claire Lopez finds Macy Steinwood-Dell to get the goal to make it a 2-0 game. Academy is able to get on the board. Elizabeth Merrick puts it in. 7:54 left to go. 2-1 Cape. Now 1:12 left in the quarter. It's Lopez again finding Steinwood-Dell for another goal, making it 3-1. Cape Henlopen would come out on top in this contest, 19-3. Now, Caesar Rodney and Tower Hill, we are knotted at 10. Late in the fourth, whistle blows, Clough feeds it to Simon, and there it is. Hillers back in front with less than 3 minutes remaining. Clock winding down. Riders need a response. Brown is going to answer that call, finding the back of the net. Score is tied at 11, and we're going to head to overtime. Sudden death, forced team to score, goes to the state championship. Tower Hill has it. Simon with it and is able to get it to go for the game winner. Tower Hill comes out on top, 12-11. It's Cape Henlopen and Tower Hill in the DIAA state championship on Saturday at noon. Have a great day, everybody.
Coming up tonight on DSN at 7:30, U.S. Dragway Modified Racing, and then at 10:30, it is Outdoors Delmarva. Last night, Edmonton Oilers' 6-3 win over the Dallas Stars in Game 5. That was the Western Conference Final Series clincher. It also means we have a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup Final. The Oilers will face the defending champion Panthers. Game 1 Wednesday night in Edmonton.
One of music's biggest names is giving fans a rare look at their life off stage in a new documentary. Rick Damangella has more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Welcome to my Quarterman show.
U2 fans will get a deeper look at Bono.
Something to know about performers. In pursuit of truth, we are capable of more untruth than most.
The singer's one-man show, Bono, Stories of Surrender, is now a streaming film on Apple TV+. The musician wanted to give longtime followers a peek behind the rock star curtain.
I thought I owed our audience to be honest with them, to take off the armor and, you know, put down the swords, put down the shields, you know, and just be the person that I am, you know, and full of faith, full of fear.
The documentary is shot in black and white, which Bono used to create an intimate vibe for viewers.
We go to church in the dark, you know, and if you're in a rock and roll band, you're looking for some sort of sparkle. You're looking for some light, even if it's reflected. In cinema, it's the same. You go to church in the dark, and you're looking for projected light. And it just seems that black and white makes it so much more stark.
Bono says he felt comfortable getting vulnerable in front of audiences because his life is in such a good place.
I've never been so grateful. And with that security, dare I say it, of being loved by, you know, an audience and a family and a band, I think it's okay to own up to my insecurities. This is my story. I'm stuck with it.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damangella.
A rough week you can share with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Heavy showers and storms still working through Delmarva. A little lighter now in Salisbury, 64, but we're wet this morning. We get a break this afternoon, and more storms this afternoon and this evening. And then again on Saturday, some of those could be possibly strong to severe. Then we dry it out Sunday. I'll track the storms coming up next in my full forecast in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 5:49 and we are taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. Bob, we can see the rain on the road there. There's a car driving up there.
Yeah.
Be careful as you're driving in this morning. We can hear the rain in our studio. So definitely, it's not clear conditions outside.
No, it's far from clear, actually, Elisa, for sure. And yeah, watch out for the ponding on the roads with the heavy showers and storms coming through. We're looking at the damp conditions this morning. I think we do get a little window where it dries out as we go through the day, and it's mild and muggy, and then a stormy evening. And some of those storms could be possibly strong to severe, and then maybe another round of storms as we go into your Saturday evening. So if you've got weekend plans tomorrow evening, watch out for that. And then Sunday looks beautiful. We're going to clear it out at that time. We're all still seeing showers, but the heaviest now beginning to move offshore along the Delaware coast from Lewis to Dewey Beach. You're still in the heavier rain. And that extends back to Millsboro, Long Neck, Ocean View, and down to Fenwick Island. Ocean City, you're seeing the heaviest rain move offshore. So you're just in some general showers now from Ocean Pines over to Salisbury, and still seeing pockets of heavy rain across southwest Sussex County right now as this activity is moving off to the north and east. As we look at the eastern shore, starting to dry out a little bit in Cambridge, but still lots of rain farther south towards Chincoteague. But we are seeing gaps in the rain farther to the west now, showing up across the eastern shore into Virginia right now. As we're watching a warm front lifting through, that's why we're seeing those showers and storms this morning. But you can see they're rapidly moving off to the east and northeast, so these should be ending here in the next couple of hours. But there is more energy back to the west with the front, and that's going to just keep our weather unsettled as we go into the weekend. Out the door, we're seeing temperatures in the low to mid 60s. The wind's starting to turn around to the south, so still some lingering showers around 6:30, but by 9 a.m. I think we're just mainly cloudy, kind of muggy and mild. Temperatures in the 70s. Then we see some afternoon sun, and that warms us into the 70s and 80s, but it also destabilizes the atmosphere. So as we go into this evening, we're going to see more activity firing up, maybe maybe some downpours and maybe some damaging winds with some storms as we go into your Friday evening. So watch out for that. Otherwise, as we go through the overnight into tomorrow morning, we're going to see a big wind shift. The winds pick up Saturday morning, and it gets windy from the west as we go into your Saturday, with temperatures in the 70s, with another round of showers and storms possible into the afternoon. Once again, heavy rain, downpours, and maybe some damaging winds, so make sure you secure those outdoor items. As we go into Saturday evening, still some lingering storms possible as we go into the evening hours. Then we clear it out. Look how chilly it gets into Sunday morning. My goodness, maybe some 40s and low 50s. And then Sunday, a beautiful day, but it'll be a lot cooler with temperatures in the 60s and 70s. We're seeing that slight risk from Easton to Salisbury and Chincoteague, where you have a better chance of seeing damaging winds and hail, with a marginal risk from Ocean View up to Dover. That's for this afternoon and this evening. And then as we go into Saturday afternoon and evening, damaging winds and hail possible at that time as well. Then after that, it looks like we're out of the woods as far as that severe threat. But it looks like still quite a bit of rain coming our way, about a half inch to about an inch of rain on top of what we've already had. So with that in mind, we could be looking at some quick flooding, especially in poor drainage areas and saturated ground. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, pretty unsettled as we go through today and tomorrow. 77 today, 73 with mainly afternoon and evening storms Saturday. Drying out Sunday, 72, getting cool at night too. Monday, mid-70s, and then here comes the summer-like warmth, 82 Tuesday, and then by Thursday up to 87 with mostly sunny skies.
Thank you, Bob. We want to let our viewers know that we've made some technical upgrades to enhance the quality and reliability of the over-the-air broadcast signal. People who watch Coast TV using an antenna may need to take a simple step to continue receiving the channel. Rescanning your TV, the upgrade can cause some TVs to temporarily lose the channel if they're not updated through that rescan. And that's what we have there for you.
The time is now 5:53, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Yeah, today's coastal pet of the day comes to us, as it always on a Friday, from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. On your screen right now is Bronte. Bronte is just a bundle of joy and is a shelter and volunteer favorite. He loves to go on walks and loves treats. And if you want to adopt Bronte or any other lovable pet, head on over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
You can scan that QR code top center, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
5:57, and we're going to take another look at your forecast before you head out the door.
And Bob, we are dealing with another wet Friday.
We are, and we're seeing a couple hours of rain this morning, the heaviest of which is now moving through Sussex County and out to sea. But we're going to see those showers hanging on here for the next couple of hours. And then the rest of today is just kind of muggy, light winds, temperatures in the mid to maybe upper 70s. I'm going around 77. Could see another round of storms as we go into the evening hours. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. Saturday 73. One last round of showers and storms into the evening. Could be strong to severe. We dry it out Sunday. Cooler 72. Big warm up next week. Here come the 80s beginning Tuesday up to 87 Thursday, and then those 80s continue the rest of the week. Maybe some showers Friday, and looking pretty summer-like finally next weekend.
All right, I can look forward to that. Thanks, Bob. Coming up in our next hour, Power Play, how some Delaware lawmakers are attempting to override local government authority when it comes to the controversial wind farm project. That and more when Coast TV News Today continues.